Okay, so the purpose of this video is to go over administering Subq fluids to a sick hedgehog. To do this, you need a bag from your vet. Do not use tap water, distilled water, baby water, any kind of water. You need to get something from your vet that looks like this. It's IV fluids, okay? I'm gonna guess that if you're getting this from your vet, the vet knows that you have a hedgehog that needs Subq fluids. So don't just do this all willy-nilly and then come to me and tell me that you killed your hedgehog because you didn't have vet advice. Well, that's not good. Okay, but this is a video to go over a hedgehog who is like Twix, who's dealing with a lot of issues right now, who needs some extra support at home so they don't have to drive up to the vet and get her Subq fluids every other day. Okay, so I have Twix here. She's in her sling that's holding her upright. Right now she's got some severe neurological issues. We're not sure what this stems from. But without the ring, she can't hold herself upright. She's pretty unresponsive. I'm pinching her and she's not responding. The onset of this, whatever it is, happened very, very quickly. At first we thought it was a stroke because it only affected the right or the front arms. They lost their mobility, and she still could use her back legs, but in the last week it's plummeted to this point. So this is just a piece of rolled up fleece with a binder clip to form that teardrop shape, and so I just drop her in it, get all her legs kind of in a more natural position so that if you flip her over, there's all four of her legs. Okay. So to do Subq fluids, move her right here. Move her little mealworms up to her nose. So to do Subq fluids, what we're going to do is we're going to create a pocket like this. You pull up the skin, and you can see she's pretty dehydrated because when I pull up on her skin, see how slow it goes back down? So she's dehydrated. She's not getting enough water. So what you do is you're going to create a pocket, and then you're going to stick your needle in at the base of this. Basically, you're creating a triangle. I'm lifting up by just a couple quills, and so it's like this. And then down here at the bottom is a pocket between the muscle and the spine, and there's a pocket between that and the skin. So you're going to fill this up with fluids. Again, this is, you know, your IV bag, which this is a brand spanking new IV bag I got from my vet today. They gave me a huge one. Usually I get a smaller one. The nice thing about Subq fluids is the body is going to absorb it as it needs it. So like when I got her the first day, she was really, really dehydrated. I gave her 10 cc's. She looked like a Brahma cow, and it took her about 5 days to go through all that liquid. But she was extremely, extremely dehydrated when she came in. So this is a syringe. It's a lure lock tip, so you can see right there it's got the spiral. This is, you know, a new one in the package. So this one I've already taken out. It is a 20 milliliter or 20 cc. We're only going to do 5. So 5 milliliter, 5 cc, same thing. So up to that line. I like to use these. These are, you can get both this and this from Tractor Supply. This is a 22 gauge. The bigger the number, the smaller the needle. Bigger the number, smaller the needle. So an 18 gauge is going to be a bigger diameter than the 22 gauge. So I like the 22 gauge. My vet gave me 20 gauge, which is slightly bigger than this. I like the 22s. So you're going to use a new needle for every time. Okay. This is what they look like. You twist it to open it up here. So there you go. And then from here, you just put it on. You're going to spin it on. Once it's on, there's your needle. Okay? So, let me put the lid back on this for just a second so it stays clean. I'm going to open up the bag of fluid. Okay. All right, so this bag's a little different than my last one, but this is the port that you're going to be able to get your water out of. So let me put it down. I gotta have it angled so I don't get a bubble. And just stick it right in there like that, and then make sure you don't poke through the back of your bag. That would be a mess. And as you pull, it's going to create a vacuum, so you just gotta pull it and let it go. Okay, let's see. I'm up to the 5 line, but I got a bubble in there, so I'm going to do a little bit more. Okay, so you want to make sure that there's no bubble in there because that can kill them. So I'm going to do this off camera, but you're going to tip up your needle like that, and then just, tap it a little, tap, 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 gently, tap, tap, and then
push on the plunger to remove the air.
Get out until you have your bubbles of water coming out the lid, and there's no more bubble. There's a little bubble in there. Let's see if I can get that out. Come on, bubble. Okay, there we go. Okay, bubbles are out. So now you can see I've got my 5 cc's. There's my needle. It is exposed. Don't poke yourself. The first time my husband did Subq, he went right through the skin of the hedgehog into his finger. Ouch! Don't do that. Okay? So, oh, I know. You know what's coming, baby. I'm so sorry. Normally this would be a 2-person job, but because Twix moves so little, it's not. So again, I've created this pocket. I'm going to go in here towards the base, in between the quills. Boop. And then you just start filling her up. It should be fairly easy to inject the Subq. If you're really having to push hard on this syringe, you are not in the correct location. If you angle your needle down, you're going to hit the muscle mass in the spine, and you're going to be injecting into basically a solid body, and it's not going to let you inject it easily. If you have it angled up, you have the risk of going up and through, like into your own finger if you're holding it. You also have the risk of re-entering the skin from the other side, and then you're not going to be entering in. You do not have to insert the entire length of that needle. Did you see how long that was? Yeah, that's ridiculous. That's long. So I only had to do, like that much to get into that pocket. Once you're done, you're going to close it up, twist it off, and then dispose of this in a Sharps disposal. I keep mine here, and then once a month or once every other month, I take them to my vet and they dispose of them for me. You can also find disposals other places. Don't just go dumping them in somewhere. Make sure that you have permission to dump them somewhere. Okay? They have a lot of in bathrooms nowadays for people using insulin. Don't just put them in there. Make sure you have permission. Okay? And that's it. And she's all done. And you can see there may be a little water that comes back out, a little fluid liquid leak that comes back out, but you can't see where I poked her. So and then if I turn her on her side, you can see now there's just a bubble back here where that water is sitting. So there we go. Good job, Twixie. Perfect model for Subq fluids administration.